Hi, today I'm going to present two-stage classification using recasted data for low resource setting. This is a joint work with Shagun, Avinash and Rajiv from IIIT Delhi and Heman, Debanjan, Rakesh and Amanda from Bloomberg. I'm Vivek from University of Utah. So what is textual entailment problem? In textual entailment, you are given a context or premise and a hypothesis and we have to determine whether the hypothesis is true or false given the premise, which is same as entail or not entail given a premise. So, for example, the kid exclaimed with joy, the kid is happy. Now, you can see the kid is happy is entailed or is true given the kid exclaimed with joy because joy is a expression of happiness. Similarly, I purchase a new car and I'm super angry. So, this is contradictory because you can see the hypothesis is false because if when you purchase a new car, generally you are happy or joyful. So, this is definitely a false, not entailed sentence. Now, let's look at what is recasting data. In recasting, what we do is we have for example, any data set with, let's say, example, a classification data set like sentiment of reviews, for example, here. For example, in the cursor has good streaming quality. The annotation is positive, the label is positive, and the set of classes are positive, negative, neutral, and conflict. So this is a review data set. Now, what you can do is you can convert this data set into an NLI data set using the classification and all the set of labels. And actually, the true label will determine is entail and not entail prediction or gold label of textual entailment. For example, has good streaming quality. The product got positive reviews from the user. We know this is entail because the original label is positive. Has good streaming quality. The product did not got positive review. This is the negation of the H1. And you can see this is not entail because the product actually got positive reviews. Similarly, we can say that has good streaming quality. The product got neutral reviews from the user. This is not entail because actually the product got positive reviews. I mean, the product did not get neutral reviews. This is entail because we know that the product got positive reviews. So you can see for L labels, which in the original task we can have 2L such hypothesis premise pairs, which we can use for the task of textual intelligence. Why do we want to recast data, first of all? So first of all, what I'm showing right now is not actually the English data set. I have English transcription of Hindi data set. So these are Hindi pairs. I just, for good presentation and for understanding, I convert them to Hindi here. So when we have a low resource setting, we generally have a lot of unlabeled data, but not good labeled data for all tasks. For example, in NLI, in Hindi, we don't have very good labeled data. So this is a good way of having labeled NLI data or label data by data recasting. Secondly, we don't have very good pre-trained model, which I will show that the pre-trained model are not that good on a low resource setting because there's lack of even labeled data at some place. Thirdly, the annotating data, like for example, we can ask, obviously, give her a sentence and ask whether to write a hypothesis pair or inference pair. This is general way of collecting textual entailment. This is expensive when we do it for low resource setting. Why? Because we first need language specific knowledge experts to do this. Secondly, expert annotation is always expensive and getting such pairs and data originally to even start this task is harder. So we want to do recasting is one good benefit of this cheap data, which is for any task. And in fact, we can combine a lot of semantic formula to convert into single NLI data. We will also see how this and recasting data could be used in the original task as well as for the NLI task. Furthermore, before even going to the task of textual entailment, let's see if we took this data and do a textual entailment. Now let's assume that we have the context. He cried over his lost pet and the emotion is sad. In Hindi, it will be वो रोया जब उसने अपना पालतू खोया, and the emotion is, for example, dukh. Now you can see the hypothesis can have two pairs. He's happy, he's not happy, and these are negation of each other. And we know if one is entailed by the model, then the other should be not entailed. And similarly, vice versa. If something is not entailed, it should be entailed. Maybe the actual label is not entail, like he is happy is not entail, he is not happy is entail. This is the actual correct label. But we know if the model belief in one hypothesis H1 is something, then we already know the belief of H1 dash, which is a negation, should be opposite of the belief of the model. For example, if the model predict not entail in the first case, then it should always predict not entail in the second, and vice versa. So this is what we call inconsistency in the model belief or inconsistent example. So you can see the first one is inconsistency because is consistent because the model is actually right. It predict not entail in the first and entail in the second. But the next two is entail, not entail is inconsistent because the model is contradicting with his own belief. This is model prediction. Finally, the last, which is entail and not entail, is also inconsistent, but it's incorrect. So it's fine. But the model is at least consistent. So what we did, or what is the main idea about this paper, is we want to use low resource data, unlabeled, and then use data recasting to have a low labeled analyzed data. So we show how analyzed data can be converted, can be created using recasting. Secondly, we want to introduce logical constraints to improve consistency. As I shown before, that model can be inconsistent, but since we have this patterns of positive and negative reviews, or negation and vice versa, and some semantic correlation between the sentences of hypothesis, we can use some consistent regularization to make them consistent. And I will show how that help in the recasting analyze task as well as in the final classification task. We can also use the textual entailment probabilities or textual entailment prediction which we get to actually get the classification, original classification. So I can use this pair of entail not entail over the pairs, or the for example, for the for a given sentence with three labels, we can have six pairs, and we can use the prediction of these six pairs to actually predict what is the actual label, whether it's a joy, whether it's sad, whether it's angry. So this is like two-step or two-way classification kind of thing, and I will show how we can do all this textual entailment predictions and the follow-up classification using this prediction probability of textual entailment in a joint fashion, and how does it help. Also, how does this indirectly incorporate consistency, the problem which I discussed before in the model. So this is our pipeline. We first do indirect. We can do a direct classification for comparison, which is a baseline. We can convert them to a recasted data, do a textual entailment, and then we basically do constraint regularization, which I told you, like we can use this p plus p dash, the negation of hypothesis has a constraint. So what is idea is, like, if p and p dash represent the prediction probability of entailment by any textual entailment model, okay, we can constrain that if one is 1, the other is 2, which is equivalent to saying p plus p dash minus 1 is close to 0, where p and p dash are the entailment probability of he's happy and he's not happy. So you can see they are complementary of each other. P should be equal to p dash minus 1 and vice versa. So we can use this constraint actually to make the model consistent. This is what we call consistency regularization, or CR. So we did this prediction, but we also did without and with consistency regularization, and we've got improvement when we do consistent regularization, both in consistency as well as entailment. Then, as I told you, you can do a two-step classification, which is explained more detail here. So you can see this: he cried over his lost pet. Okay. Now you can, if there are three labels, sad, angry, and happy, you can have six pairs, and you can have the following prediction, for example, by a model. Now you can use this prediction to actually determine, without even knowing what is the actual label, to say that the annotation label or the label given by the model is sad. So we can basically use the textual entailment output as a prediction for the original classification label. Instead of using exact thresholded output, entail not entail, we will use the prediction probability instead of entail and not entail for every pair to basically say. So we will use this 12 vectors which we got to do the prediction. And why we want to do this? Because this actually help in bringing indirect feedback in consistency and regulation, which I will show in the next slides. So you can do this task, not, so one idea is you do them separately. You first get the textual entailment model, you get the textual entailment probability, and then you train a classification over it. The other is you can do this in a joint fashion. You can do both the tasks in this. And this actually helps in indirectly enforcing the consistency regularization, as well as create a feedback between the textual entailment and the followed classification, because they are related tasks. They are on the same data. So it helps. So this is the whole pipeline. You can see there is one part we can do direct classification. One is we do textual entailment with consistency, and then we can do a joint training also, all of this together. So we call this two-step classification plus CR plus JO. So let's look at the data set we consider four semantic phenomena, which is sentiment, emotion, discourse, and topic. Here emotion is same as affective event. The classes are generally 4 and 6. So 4 for sentiment, 5 for emotion, discourse is 5, topic is 6. And this is the amount of data. As you can see, the class in analyze data in pair is 4 times because there are 4 classes. So actual data is into 2 of that, what is shown numbers, but they are just negation of each other. So you, and also we ensure that the text train valid split does not cross any premises. So the premises are separated in text same time, and they are also coming from the same, they are one-to-one corresponding to the train, test, and valid in the classification, so that we can properly compare with the classification data sets. Before even going to the two-step classification, first let's look at what the direct classification do. The direct classification do pretty well on the task, which I will show the performance not bad, but we also find one issues with the direct classification, which is it learn lexical correlation. For example, if battery is a lexical word which is occurring in all the premises of original sentence, we see that is highly correlated with negative. As you can see that if there's a word named battery, then in the training set, most of the example, 80% of time is negative. And this is repeated in the test set also. It's almost 78% time when you have battery, you get negative. Now model, instead of learning like sentiment, which is not anyway related with the token battery, will try to predict when C is battery, a negative label. And this we do not want to happen. So in direct classification, this is the problem. However, when we do NLI data set, we, for the same premise where the battery is used, we have both entail and not entail in equal number. So this lexical correlation is totally lost. And when we use this textual entailment probability rather than the direct classification of the premise, then this pattern is totally lost and we get rid of this spurious pattern. In the paper, we have shown hypothesis bias results on the textual entailment, and we got almost 50% accuracy, which is equal to random, showing that there is no lexical clue or artifact in recasted data. Now look at experiments. So first we want to analyze whether the state of art model, in our case we use XLM Roberta, which is outperforming all other baselines, which we took like BERT, Robert, because it's trained on multilingual data, and Roberta large, which is very powerful model. And we see how, first, what is the performance when you do this without any consistency, and also joint objective like of prediction of two-step classification, and thus including them helps. So this is what we got textual entailment, which is pretty decent on the recasted data, but not very good. But when we include consistency regression, you got huge boost in performance. If you don't include direct consistency regression, but do a joint training, then also you get. So this also shows that joint training do indirect consistency regularization. But when we combine both consistency, direct regularization plus the joint training, we see we get a huge improvement in textual entailment. Furthermore, we want to see, okay, it's accurate, but does the model is consistent also with his own belief in the pairwise settings? So we basically see, is the consistency regularized and a joint training can really help in mitigating inconsistency? And the answer is yes. So the inconsistency is pretty harsh, around 11 to 15, 16% in the original data sets. But when you include consistency regression, you got within the margin of 11 and even sometimes 7 to 11. So there's a huge drop. Joint objective indirectly remove, and you remove better than just imposing direct constraints because it trained better. Secondly, when you do everything together, you got the best inconsistency reduction. You get most consistent model, and the consistency is bounded by 9 in all data set. It's sometimes even less than 6 in some data set like BH. We also now see okay, we got this textual entailment, which is good when we do joint training, consistency regression, but does it actually help in getting the original label? Can we use the prediction probability of textual entailment to get original labels? So we do this joint two-step classification, and we also check, does the consistency and the two-step really help in generalization and doing better? So direct classification is not bad. We got good results, but it may be learning spurious pattern, as I told you before. When we do textual entailment and independently then predict the classification, we don't get much improvement performance. There is a wide gap between the direct and just textual entailment, but once we include consistency, we start diminishing that gap by huge margin. We do just joint training, no consistent regulation, we reduce by a lot, because now it's getting good feedback about the joint objective which is there, and they are helping indirectly to reduce the thing. But once you do all of this thing together, like both direct consistency regulation as well as joint training, we are able to beat even the direct classification without learning any spurious patterns, which is very interesting and surprising results. Overall, the conclusion is we created a new NLI data set by data recasting for a low resource setting, and we show the benefit of this. We propose weakly supervised constraints, which can be used with this recasted data to remove inconsistency as well as improve the textual entailment task on the recasted data. We further show that this data which is created by recasting cannot just be used as a textual entailment task, but you can use the prediction of the textual entailment task to actually do the original label classification task. And we show that if you use joint objective plus constraint regularization, you can even outperform the direct classification task. Furthermore, which is not shown much in detail in my results, but this also a benefit of model interpretability as well as analyzing the reformulated inputs. We can use this intermediate result of textual entailment to get better model interpretability, and even use some of the problems in the model to debug and do better prediction. There are more results in the paper which I encourage everybody to look at. So that final takeaway is like we have discussed the recasting process, which is automatic rule-based template for creating NLI and other data set, which can be very useful. We show that it's very less prone to artifact and spurious correlations. We show that we can have structured regularization in this recasting data, and this can remove model inconsistency as well as improve performance. We show that this recasting data is not just useful for textual entailment or the recasted task, it can also improve the original task and add interpretability, performance improvement, less inconsistency kind of thing. We can use a joint objective for training, which is efficient and which can improve further results. Also, we we didn't discuss this much. We can also combine multiple semantic phenomena, multiple data set into a recasted data set in a single recasted data set and use it to further enhance the performance, which is beneficial because in the recasting everything became entail not entail, so joy, anger and all this go away as a label. Furthermore, there are many results of interpretability, semantic combining semantic phenomena, class wise, supervised, semi supervised setting. We got much more improvement in very when there is less label data also. Very less label data, so you can look that on this paper. Thank you for listening. I will be happy to answer any.